So thank you for hopping out with me today.
Yes,
You
sir.
know, how's it been going?
Pretty good, man. Just been chilling, working on music, on that grind.
Oh yeah. No, I know what that's like.
hmm
Um, Speaking of music, what got you into it?
Honestly, music has always been a pretty big factor in my life. I'd say like when I was a kid, just always listening to the video game music. I would literally have my Game Boy Advance. I had a purple one. I would have my Game Boy Advance like next to me in the back of my car, in the back of my parents' car. I mean, and I just like would pause the game and just listen to the music. Like I would have it like next to my ear and just listen to the music, like the background music and stuff. And just listening to radio and stuff when I was in the car, like when I was a kid and all that stuff. And you know,
Yeah, that's crazy. I never heard of somebody actually like doing that with a Game Boy. Just playing the. He's like, I used to have, what was it? I had a Game Boy Advance. I had a Game Boy Advance SP when I was younger, and I
mm,
also had like before all that, I actually had a Game Boy Pocket.
a
There's some
Game
with
Boy
games.
Pocket. Oh, really?
It's basically like the original Game Boy, but it's like pocket sized.
Mm.
It's like the slim version, I guess. Um, but what are your biggest inspirations? Would you say, like artist wise, when it comes to music?
Artist wise, ooh, Jesus, man, there's a lot of them. I like Prince. I like Michael Jackson. I like Pierre Bourne. I like the Neptunes, that's for sure. Ethereal. Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Oh wow, yeah. You know
hmm
what? I never really thought about Prince and Michael Jackson, but like
mm,
now after seeing you live, it
mm,
makes so much sense because you have
yeah,
like you tend to dance a lot and you have like it's much more than just performing. Most artists, they just go up there and they sing or they rap or whatever.
yeah.
You go up there and you have like a whole freaking like show. Like it's more than just the music, which is really good because like when it comes to like hip hop, they don't that's not really as much of a thing. But in
mm,
like other genres like rock music, pop music, a lot of those artists they tend to have that whole thing. But now that makes so much more sense to me. And I'm actually
yeah, yeah.
surprised I never thought of that because like obviously when I was younger, I grew up listening to stuff like that, like Prince, Michael Jackson. Because I grew up listening to whole tons of genres.
Oh,
So I
really?
mean, yeah, classic rock, a whole bunch. My father's in a classical music group. My dad
Oh,
is.
okay.
So yeah, all different types of music. But so last year, you put out your album Genesis, and for those who don't know, what inspired it? How did that come about?
So basically, the album itself is a story of a guy who, at the beginning, like it's loosely based off of the story of Genesis, yeah, in the Bible. And so basically, it kind of like follows that. What's the word I'm looking for? It kind of follows that timeline a little bit. Not, it doesn't take place in that time, but it follows like that flow of that story. Um, and basically, it's just about a guy and a girl, like they get together or whatever. They start like a little relationship. The girl ends up cheating. The guy gets depressed, but then like he comes back up, And so it's like a redemption story almost, kind of like in the beginning it's good, middle it's sad, ending it comes back up, you know. And so
Uh,
yeah, it's just kind of it's loosely based off of the story of Genesis, loosely, you know.
Interesting. And I
hmm
mean, even like if you take religion out of it, a lot of people I
hmm
think can relate to that.
Yeah.
Just falling in love, getting the heart broken, and then
hmm
falling in love again. And
Yeah.
hopefully, when you do the last time, it works out
Yeah.
because
Yeah. hmm
yeah, and a lot of people they're still searching for that type of stuff. And so yeah, you just released your single with me, and I've listened to it. Honestly, the last version, the disco one,
Oh yeah.
that one like is I think low key maybe my favorite version of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I mean I don't know, like it depends because that's as like the different vibe, than and it kind of reminds me more like kind of like a more maybe of like an 80s type of vibe, like
Yeah.
pop. It's a yeah, it's interesting, but it's definitely, I think people should definitely give that one a listen. But what inspired that single? And I guess just to follow that up, why did you make, three different versions of it?
Okay, so for your first question, what inspired me? So basically, I wrote that song late 2022, recorded it around that same time. It was just literally about this girl I had a crush on at my job, and like it was just kind of like just me fantasizing about that, you know.
No,
It wasn't really too crazy, just a little love fantasy, you know. And I'm sorry, what was your second question? Can you repeat it?
it was like, why did you make, three different versions of it?
Three different versions.
What made that decision?
Right, right. So I just kind of wanted three different vibes. There's the regular vibe, which I love, and then you got the sped up version, which is definitely more. I feel like the song in general is pretty danceable, but like I do like danceable songs. So like the second version and the third version, which is the funk version. So the second version is a sped up version. I really like the sped up version just because it's fast paced and you just can dance to it and shit. Just fucking
Yeah.
vibe to it, on stage and whatnot. Same thing with the third version and like the funky version. That was again based off of my inspirations like Prince, Michael Jackson, James Brown, and all them, And so like it's just another thing about like the danceability and stuff. I just really like fast paced like danceability songs, But I also like slowed down songs too, So
Yeah, so you got like the right mix of, like, if let's say it's a slow dance type of situation, you
hmm
got the first version, and if somebody wants it a little bit faster, there's the second, and then if they want
hmm
like that vibe switch up, then there's the third.
Yeah,
Says
yep. hmm
that makes total sense now. And oh yeah, James Brown, he was doing all that dancing stuff before Michael Jackson.
Yeah, that's
That
where that's where Michael Jackson and Prince and a lot of other people in the 80s as well. That's where their inspiration comes from, like James Brown and stuff like that funk type of sound, like
Yeah, he was the originator basically
hmm
when it came to doing all of that. And I think a
hmm
lot of people, they don't really know that, because most people,
no.
they know Michael Jackson, and like that's it.
hmm
So it's just like they don't know where he got it from. It's kind of like I watch basketball, Michael Jordan, him flying through the air and stuff. Everyone, Air Jordan, they have the nickname and everything. But
Yeah.
but the one player that was doing that before him was a Dr. J. He had
Hmm.
all those crazy moves, or he would fly around in the air and dunk it and stuff. And even in a documentary I watched, Michael Jordan even said that Julius Irving, Dr. J, inspired him when it came to that. And but it's like, a lot of kids, they just know Michael Jordan. So,
Interesting.
but yeah, what are your, like, I know this is like a hard question, but like, what are your top favorite artists?
My top favorite artists. Okay, so yeah, so you got Michael Jackson, you got Prince, you got would you count the Neptunes like Pharrell and Chad Hugo? You know who they are, right? Like they're
Yeah, yeah, I watched a
mhm.
documentary on like hip hop stuff and when they
Yeah,
came out.
yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, them and Ethereal, he's this producer. He still makes music. He's kind of not new generation, but like I'd say like 2010s. He produced a lot of stuff for Cardi back when Cardi was coming up. I really like his music. Uh I'd say K Swab as well. Is that five? Yeah. That might be six because the Neptunes is a group, but yeah. So
Yeah, I mean, but like when it's like a group, they're almost like together at the same time,
yeah, it's like a
all
duo
under
type
one
of
name.
thing. Yeah. Oh, and
Yeah.
Pierre Bourne. I'm gonna make it seven. Sorry about that. Yeah, Pierre Bourne
Oh no,
too.
it's
He's
all good.
definitely yeah.
You might as well go up to 10.
10. Jesus. Yeah. After seven, honestly, it just gets random.
Yeah, the
So
signs, it depends on the day. You're like, you know
yeah,
what, this day I think I like this one more, and then, in the mood that you're in and stuff. But
exactly.
so have you grown up in KC all your life, or just this state?
Yes, sir.
I know
Kansas
that
City, Missouri.
it's a big thing out here, but so what is your favorite, or what would you consider the best barbecue place? for anyone that I guess wants to come here?
Mm, See, I may have grown up in KC my whole life, but I actually haven't been to all the barbecue places. I've been to Gates, Arthur Bryant's Smokehouse, and I think I've been to Jack Stack's once. So out of all those, I'm not gonna lie, I really like Gates. I kind of like the vibe of going in there and getting yelled at and getting my ears fucking blown out. Hi, may I help you? That type of shit.
So it wasn't just me because a funny story about Gates is me and my girlfriend had like a terrible experience there. So
Ooh.
it was like a few months after we moved here. We're like, we're gonna go on a date. Let's try barbecue because like we're new here. So we went to the Gates, which is right by like where we live. It's the
Mm.
one on Linwood or nearby Linwood or whatever, and so we went over there and people were yelling, like it was very like disorganized. There wasn't like any type of like structure. And then people that were in line were getting impatient with us too. And I was
Mm.
like, yo, why is everyone being so rude here? And like the only person that was nice was the freaking waitress. And then I mean, in my opinion, now I'm not a big barbecue person, so
Mhm.
it's kind of a hot take. But I thought the food was kind of mid. Maybe it was just that location or that time that I went,
Mm.
but it wasn't like my favorite barbecue, I guess. I haven't been to another barbecue place here since. I think it just kind of rubbed us the wrong way, and I'm just never like I rarely get in the mood for barbecue.
I get that. I get that.
But I mean, like I think it's simple, but it's good. But I felt like like it was like what was it, like $15 or something, and it
Yeah.
was really the experience. When you go out to eat and you have like an unpleasant experience, it
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
kind of ruins everything.
Yeah. I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, that was just it. But I mean, like, and nobody was really like sympathetic because I even told them like, "Yo, I've never been here before." Like,
Mm.
like I'm used to like there be, you wait in a line or you order your stuff and then, like not like yelling over the counter and stuff because I don't like yelling because yelling's rude to me. When somebody yells
Yeah.
at me, be
Hmm.
rude. When I yell at other people, I'm usually, it's because I'm angry or something. And I'm like, I'm not trying to do
Hmm.
that. But do you
Trust me,
got
I
any?
get that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's a crazy thing. I mean, speaking of food too, what other like cuisines would you say are like your favorite?
Indian food. Indian
Oh
food.
wow.
Yep. Bro, I fucking love Indian food. I mean, I haven't had that much of it, but I definitely like Indian styled curry. You know.
Mm. What is a good place around here for Indian food?
There's a couple of them. There's one called Seva, then there's one called Swagat or Swagat. I don't really know how to pronounce it. I always call it Swagat, but yeah, there's Swagat and Seva. So I like those places.
Ah, interesting. You
Hmm.
should send me the link to some of them at some point because like I get in the mood where like I just like trying new things.
Hell yeah,
Um,
bro.
Oh yeah, and I mean, I actually tried chicken curry for the first time at so like I've been getting really into like Mediterranean food. So like I tried it for the first time. I had like a hero from a place. I went
Mm,
to the Jerusalem Cafe in Westport. Really
mm,
good place. And I went there and I was like, I never had hero before, and I was kind of in a mood where I was just like, you know what? I want to do something new and doing the same thing. So I
mm,
just went over there, went out to eat by myself. This was like my day off. And I went there and I ordered that and I was like, yo, this is so good. And then ever since then, I've just gotten more and more into Mediterranean food. Last time, about a week ago, I went on a date there with my girlfriend and I tried like the chicken curry for the first time. But it was like mild, so it wasn't really spicy because to me,
mm.
mild is not really spicy. It's just like a
Yeah.
flavor. But they gave me some extra like hot sauce with it, which is more spicy. So that had a little bit of a kick to it. But yeah, no, that's another cuisine that I've just been getting more into.
Yeah, I've heard of Jerusalem, excuse me. I've heard of Jerusalem Cafe. I just never really went there. I didn't really know like what I was going to order there because I don't really like recognize any of that food, Like curry, I kind of had an idea of it before I tried it, but like with like Jerusalem Cafe, I was just like, huh, I don't know what I would get from there.
It's a really good place, and you get like a lot of bang for your buck. You get like if you get a hero, which have you ever had like lamb meat before?
I have had lamb. Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, if you like the lamb meat, because the hero is basically a mixture of like lamb and like beef. So I
Mm.
mean, it tastes really good. And usually if you order like a sandwich in there, it comes with you could choose like a side of like I think like it's like fries or and the fries are really well seasoned in my opinion, and fries or rice, and then you also can get a salad with that. So two
Interesting.
sides plus the sandwich, and it's like 13.
Interesting.
And then they're very generous with their pita bread there. Like you order a lot of things that comes with like the pita bread and the hummus, which the hummus is pretty good and it even has like a little bit of a spice to it and stuff.
Ooh.
Like it's really good and like they'll give you like tons of freaking pita bread. Like I don't know how much money they spend on pita bread, but like last time I was there, they gave me like a tray of it and then they like filled it up even more because they're like, here's some more pita bread. Like, because like I ordered like a falafel, which is actually pretty good too. The falafel and like pita bread and hummus like appetizer.
Mm.
And like they forgot, I guess, the falafel. And I told them, I was like, oh yeah, you forgot the falafel. And they're like, oh no, sorry. And then they just gave me more pita bread too, along with the falafel. So I was just like, all right, like I mean,
Oh,
I ate it all.
hey.
I was pretty hungry, but I mean, like it's just surprising, like I felt bad because I was like, he just basically misheard me. Like it wasn't like him purposely forgetting, but
Yeah,
but it's a good place. I mean, if you're ever I guess in the Westport area, go and check it out.
for sure, for sure. Yeah, I'll definitely give it a try. I mean, I've had like this one place called Halal Bros or Halal Guys, and like I've had like falafel and stuff from there. I don't really know if it. I think that's more of an Egyptian restaurant. I don't really know if like I don't know if that counts as Mediterranean food. I don't really know. I'm not good with cultures, so
Yeah, no, I just kind of go to a place. I
yeah.
mean, I've had in my opinion, like it might be like my second favorite like type of cuisine because
Mm,
like I would say my second favorite was more American, but because like was it one of my coworkers is telling me you still got the New York diet because I told him when I go out to eat usually it's like tacos or Phillies or whatever,
mm,
and then
yeah.
but yeah, no, but I think it's actually my second favorite now because to me, like I like the balance that you get with it. And like they use higher quality oils in Mediterranean food, like olive
Ooh,
oil and stuff,
ooh.
versus like and I love olive oil. I cook with it at home all the time. So it's just like and you get more balance. Like, you can get like the vegetables and like, so it's not too heavy. American food can be like very heavy. And like
Mm,
for me, it's like I like to have balance in my meals. So
that's
and
good.
like
That's good.
yeah, hummus can hit. Like I used to get, I didn't have hummus for a while until I started getting it around here. So sometimes it just really hits.
Interesting. Yeah, I've never really tried Actually, I've had it once, but I just didn't really I couldn't really describe the taste of it. Like I don't really know how to describe the taste. What is hummus? Isn't it like mashed beans or something like that? I don't really know. I
It's
hope I'm not
usually
offending
made, I
anybody
think,
here.
out of like chickpeas. I mean,
Okay.
like if you get like the real basic hummus, but
Mm,
like for example, like the Jerusalem Cafe, they put like they had like obviously that's like the base of it, and then they have like usually it has oil mixed in with it, and there's they use olive oil, and they'll add some like spices, and I think some like some spicy spices. I
mm,
forget, I don't know what kind they add, but like because they'll give you a tray and one side of it has like the really hot stuff. So you can
ooh,
like choose to kind of like dip out of the area which isn't as hot, or you can mix it all together and just it's interesting. But I don't know. I used to get like hummus and like crackers sometimes, like if I was like wanting like a quick snack, because hummus also has like it's like a good source of like protein too. If
ooh.
you need a little extra protein, you pair like some hummus with some like crackers or something. Because hummus on average, I think per serving usually has like around like I think like 6 grams. So it's like an easy way for some quick protein.
Interesting.
But yeah, what big plans do you got for this year?
just release, man.
Put them
Trying to
out.
yeah, exactly. I'm just trying to put out my music, I'm just trying to get my because last year I wasn't really like, I don't feel like, in my opinion, I was releasing as much music as I should have. So that's my goal for this year, to release more music, to maximize my output, I guess you could say.
Yeah, I mean,
Hmm.
in today's industry, it's very hard to do that if you're releasing projects, which is
Hmm.
part of the reason why, like, I've kind of just resulted, especially like if you want to release a project that's actually themed. And in
Hmm.
my opinion, it's not worth releasing a project unless it's somewhat themed, even if it's
Hmm.
an EP. To me,
Hmm.
the sounds have to fit together in my
Yeah.
mind. So it's just like it's hard to do that because like more energy, more time, and then when you put it out, you got to like promote it, and it's just like that's like a whole nother thing. Like the
Yeah.
strategy of that's just a lot. So I mean, I guess like it's easier to like release more doing singles,
Yeah,
especially in
exactly.
today's industry, but it isn't like as creative. So I mean, as an artist, like a lot of other videos I've watched from other artists, like they'll talk about how like making an album is like more satisfying to like the creative side of them. But
It
like,
definitely is. It
yeah,
definitely
and
is.
I mean, honestly, like I really want to make a project again too, but it's just I'm just so busy and stuff. And at times I end up starting, I'm like, what do I even start with? And sometimes I'm
Hmm.
like, I write almost all the time, but it's just like, just finding something. But sometimes it's just waiting for the right time. But I
Mm.
mean, like, what other do you got any other projects planned for this year? Or is it just singles?
Well, there's definitely going to be some projects coming out. I'm still getting the idea for them, but right now, at this moment in time, I just want to release more singles because I want people to know, like, what I guess what I'm going to be, like, what my main topics are. I guess, I want people to know, like, I want them to get a better idea of who I am in my music with the singles that I'm going to be releasing, instead of
Yeah,
it
that
like
makes
always
sense.
being like story themed albums and stuff like that. I want people to get a better idea of me, of who I am, through my music, and not just like a fictional story like how Genesis was, even though it did satisfy the creative part of me. I feel like they didn't really get to know like me through that album. You know what I mean? So I feel
Yeah,
like with this year, I want people to know who I am more through my music. So that's why I'm going to be releasing singles more, and also, like I said, there's going to be projects as well. But yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, man.
Hmm.
Um, but like, so you're looking to like get more like personal, is what you're saying?
Well, personal and also fun as well, because I feel
Uh,
like Genesis was, it has fun moments, but like I said, it's up and then down and then up. So like it also has dark moments as well, So I want to be more fun with my music and more personal with my music as well, and just be me more.
yeah, that makes sense, and especially like with building an audience, like
Hmm.
having them get to know you more
Hmm.
is very important for that as well. Which is actually something I'm trying to do as well because like also like it gets to a point where if you make like fun music or like hit type of music,
Hmm.
after a while I find it becomes like the easiest thing to do. Like
Hmm.
I could write I could write about rapping or about hustling or about like positivity or whatever. I could write about like a lot of the subjects that I write about literally all the time,
Yeah.
but it's to that point. But then it's like I don't want to sound like a broken record.
Hmm.
Like I want
Yeah.
like that stuff's good for like promotion and stuff, and it's good like to have a song like that here and there. But it's like there's a lot
Hmm.
of things I've been through in my life that like
Of
the
course.
world doesn't really know. So it's just like having a way to get that out.
Of
But
course.
um, but yeah, no, I appreciate you hopping out with me today and doing this because like um just like I'm always looking to try to that's one of my goals too is to try to get out and try to push the word for other artists. And I've gone to some of your shows, I've been listening to your music and trying to keep up with that. So it's
Hmm.
just like I'm trying to get more into like the press space because I really want to try to shed light and promote people that I really mess with. So
Hey, I
you're
appreciate
obviously
you.
one of those people. So every new release, send it my way
Of
so I
course.
can shout you out, so I can write some press releases because that's one thing about this game too is like when you're like start doing more press, you need content. So it's like that's why now I'm like
Mm-hmm.
it makes me want to check out people even more because I'm
Mm-hmm.
like for the content aspect of that.
And I respect the fact that you're doing that too. Like you're definitely for the people. And I would say that itself is magnificent, just like your name,
Oh yeah, there you go.
So you're pretty much living up to it.
Yeah, it has to be all related in some way or another. But
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate you hopping out on me, and I hope that you enjoy the rest of your weekend.
You
And
too.
I'll be getting this up, this coming week. So definitely stay tuned for that. I'll definitely be keeping you posted on. I'll hit you up when this is gonna be ready and set.